and welcome to Gaza Media Platform here in Maryland. Today, the 31st of May 2024, under the convention of Lega USA, which is Lebialem Cultural and Development Organization. We just want to use this opportunity to welcome all the members of the Lebialem, all the stakeholders. His Excellency is right there, and His Majesty is double title. So what we are doing here is it's not a very formal discussion, but we want to sample people of the BLM, both women and men, the youth, to have an idea of when we are talking about the unity and how we can build the BLM in 2050 through unity and development. The CEO is here, the financial CEO, the financial officer is here, the vice CEO is here, the Minka system is here, and many other people are here. We have his Royal Highness Chief Osano, the Royal Highness Chief Omenji, Professor Amin is here, and of course we want to say a shout out to the new doctor in the house, Dr. Rebecca Amin, who is the vice CEO, and Honorable Madam Colleen here. So our youth here, I may not know their names so well, but I know this was in the field today. So the topic of today is how can we, what is it that we can do individually, collectively, to realize this goal when they talk about the BLM Paradise 2050 through unity and development. If I may just want to ask, what does this really sound to your ear when they say building? We want to transform the BLM to become a paradise in 2050. What does this sound to your ear? Any person? Maybe let me start with those that are not within the board, because probably may have thought about it over and over. Let me start with the youth. Have you ever heard of this terminology, or have you ever heard of this thing?
I think I have. The BLM Development 2050, I think I've read that in some platforms. And I've actually watched some videos and I've heard other people talk about it. And so to me, it means a lot, especially when I watch those videos and what they intend to achieve by the year 2050. I feel like that's a good path that the people of the BLM are thinking about.
And do you have any opportunity to ask maybe any member of the leader, how are they going to achieve that goal?
So I haven't had a chance to talk to some of the leaders that are actually handling that project. I had the chance to talk to Mr. Bios, but it was more directed towards the soccer game. So now that I've met other people around and I know the CEO who is there and the vice, I think going forward as youth will have the opportunity to talk to them and see how they intend to realize such a goal.
Okay, yes, thank you for that. Maybe I may give the opportunity to maybe any member of the board, Chief Omenji.
So he didn't give his name, he didn't say his name.
No, I'm the one moderating.
Oh, okay, I'm
yes. His name is not important for now. Okay. I'm giving you the opportunity to explain to those that are not familiar with the theme of the convention. You are the Chief Information Officer, right? Of Lega USA. Secretary General. Yes, so you see information. Okay. Yes.
Can you take your question again?
Yes. The theme of this year's convention, building the BLM paradise. You as a traditional ruler, double member of the executive or within the BOT. Yes. So if you go outside, what message will you say to the youth or to anyone who is not within the board?
The unity of the BLM is non-negotiable. And I will call on all the sons and daughters of the BLM all over the world to tell them that there's a different page in the BLM today, the page of unity, development. The strength of the BLM is all rests upon us all, because the more we come together, the more we realize what our forefathers started. If you go back to the BLM and you look many, many years ago, there are some projects that you won't understand how they ever, how they realize it. But from history, the strength of the Lebialem man has always been coming together. We want to continue from there. As sons and daughters of Lebialem, we may be far from home, but we're not far in our thoughts and in our project. We're very close. The Lebialem 2050 is a very achievable objective if we all come together, if we all chip in, and if we all fight. It is not something for the CEO alone. The CEO is fighting without sleeping. He's doing all his best and all his cabinet. But I want to call on all sons and daughters of Dungate. Sorry, I'm from Dungate. Sometimes I call it so personal like that. All sons and daughters of Lebialem, and I will say this: it takes $125 from all of us. Go to your pocket, chip in, and we're gonna realize that. If you watch some videos coming from the villages right now, most especially from Chenwete, you will see that sons and daughters of these villages are coming together and making things happen.
Okay, Chief, I would not like to. I would like to interrupt you a little bit. Yeah, you did mention about people of Ndungated. How many people of Ndungated have registered? I know by registration, if I'm wrong, to Legda USA is by contributing. How many people from your village, particularly you as the traditional ruler, you may not be the president of Ndungated organization. Have you preached that the people should participate in Legda USA activities?
The enrollment of the people in Legda USA today, as of many years ago, is more encouraging than it was before. And I would say, if you go back to the books 2, 3, 4 years ago, the people this year, I would say, is more than 300%, way more than it was before. And it takes, it's not encouraging, it's not as much as we wanted, but it's on the right track.
Yeah, but I just want us to be sincere, because it's good that the chief financial officer is here and she have the record that they have been posting. I want us to be very sincere, so that when you look at the camera, you look at people at home, when you are saying anything, I don't want us to sugarcoat. If people are not contributing, I think there's no way we are going to realize this. Yesterday, I have a short interview with the CEO. He was saying he will play all this soccer, he will come and eat all this barbecue, and we are not able to contribute money so that they can carry on projects that we want to achieve. Then we have not done anything yet. And I want us to be very sincere that Chief Osano is here. He has his own village. He also runs the organization too. There are other leaders that are not here. But I want us to send a message that anyone at home should listen and be sincere, that so that when you talk to your village people and say, please, if you are not contributed your minimum amount, which is $50, that is not much money to ask from you. So people should be able to do it. But I think if I look at those records, because they used to post them, it's public record. I don't know them, but the chief financial secretary can say, okay, these are the data. This is what needs to be collected from last year. From the record, from what is seen here and from what in the previous year, we may say we're not in the right trajectory.
Yeah, you may be right. I think
as far as the Lebialem dream or the vision for 2050 is all about, I think it's really a plaudable dream, and something which I know we can realize, because like somebody said, a step, a little step and a little step and a little step will make a more bigger step, or will take us to where we want to go. For my own people, we are still mobilizing, because you know this is a project for this year, and the project has to take not only this year, and it has to go to 2050. We are trying to see how we do, because we also have an interest, because we need to develop where we come from, Bamumbu. We need to develop Bamumbu, and Bamumbu is in Lebialem, and that is the goal. So we are mobilizing, we are working, we are doing some sort of sensitization and educating our people. We are trying to, like I'm trying to tell them from the idea that was given, 35 cents a day can make the whole thing. If you can keep 35 cents every day, before the end of the year, you have $125. And if you have $125 and you chip in into the coffers of LECDA, you can only go and sit and wait for what will happen. And I also try to tell people, my people and other Lebialem people, that the team put in place is a trustworthy team. It's a team nobody has to be scared. It's a team nobody should be afraid of, because the team is a capable team. They are all made of skilled people. And I encourage any other person, because I think it's a very lofty and bright idea for us to pool resources which we can be able to use to develop our area. So the Vision 2050 is a very good one, and it's something which we're going to achieve it. We're going to achieve it because I already see what is happening now, because what was yesterday is not what is today, and what will be tomorrow is not what we are thinking now. So right now I see everything going smoothly.
Okay.
So
yes, I think we can all buy into the idea, but now I think the question remains that how do we get there? What are the practical things that we think that we can do? The youth, what role do you think the younger people, very energetic, you were the referee in the field, do you have any idea of what, in your own opinion, what do you think the youth could do to contribute to be on this train? You don't need to stand. You can sit down. No, you don't need to stand.
I always like to stand when I'm talking around the elders. Just to
no, for the purpose of camera.
Yes, so, I would like to use this opportunity to thank, I know him like Minka system, for inviting us, me and my brother here. I think we are the youngest people around you guys. So thank you for inviting us here and to tell us about this project that you guys have. It's nice because it's nice that you guys have introduced us to this topic, because like the CEO said at the field that tomorrow we are going to be the people to take over from you when you are all getting tired. Although we are not young, we are above 40, but among you guys, we are the younger people. So I think by introducing us into this topic, we will try to collaborate with our friends, those that are down there, the younger people, so that we can try as much as possible. The only thing is to support what you guys are doing. Supporting you guys with a little bit of
because
something.
I'm not cutting you short. We want you to be like when they say if you put a stick, you can link the hand across the river. So we want you to be that liaison person, that if you are able to put a team of what I saw from my own personal opinion, I think if you sit here, if next year we invite you and say, okay, we want you to come and moderate the panel discussion in the convention. We want you to come and sit in the board and be representative of the youth, so that you understand what they are discussing and what are the projects. And when they say we need $125, what are they going to do with the $125? Why do they say it has to take up to, from now, 2020 or 2025, 25 years to get to that point? Why not 5 years? Why not 10 years? I want us to ask critical thinking question, so that we unite the people, the Lebialem people around the world, and the Lebialem people that will be watching us, right across Europe and across Africa, even in Asia, so that they will know that this is a loud idea. We are glad that at least somebody across Army is there, who has been a professor for a very long time. I believe that he has more experience in his personal career. But I would like, if he wants to be eating. Okay, let me switch gear now. Maybe to people that actually run the organization, they have probably been discussing this within themselves for long. I guess the question is quickly, keep the video aside. Tell me concretely, if we do this, this will change the life of the people of the Lebialem at home and abroad. I want any of you to describe any of the project, or it's something that you think that you visualize. That I don't want to give an example, because I do have my own example. Since I'm not the one running the organization, I want you to say, okay, dear Lebialem people, if we are able to construct this, if we are able to build this, if we are able to do this, This will change the life of education. This will change the way people are sick and taken care of. This will change the way people are able to have maybe money to improve on their small businesses or why not. I want any of you to do this. I give 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can take that. Where the road goes, development follows. So Lebialem has the greatest problem that Lebialem has faced is the problem of roads. Now, I remember Honorable made an important point when she said that they are struggling to develop Bamumbo. And I wanted to pick up from there because what LEGDA does is that LEGDA is partnering with the various funding organizations to make this project go alive. Because when you come to a certain area and there's a road that is already passing through, you don't need to duplicate that, right? So you want to link it to the next road, and that is what we'll be doing, linking those funds together. So looking at that, developing a good network of roads in the BLM is going to solve so many problems.
This will not stand for too long.
So
Stand for you can see.
yeah, you can see.
Listen, don't give out your chair. You need to see because this will be lengthy. So.
Yeah. So all right. So the road network, that is the key thing. Once we have that, we are able to link all the 17 fundams of the BLM and then begin to extend to the outer ones, to Jam, to Manfi, and so on, in the various ways. That is the most crucial thing that we can do in this BLM 2050 road network. If you look at the videos, look at the pictures, you've seen those highways, you are seeing those crossovers, you are seeing the bridges, and that's the key thing that we're going to do to link up. Then when you do that, education, of course, is a very important part of it, because if you have everything else, but people are not, you don't have the technocrats who can take the drive, who are there. We need all the engineers, people in technology. I'm looking forward, we're looking to see the BLM become a hub for technology, for instance. That is the way to when you have the University of the BLM, that's where people go to for technology. That is the kind of vision that we have for 2050. And you made it was a great point when you were talking to the young man over there, that why is it not just 5, 10 years, 25 years starting from next year? Because it has to be gradual and progressive. And when we follow those steps with all the collection, and if we are able to chip in, everybody playing their own part, in terms of money from the diaspora, and in terms of labor at the level of the community back in the villages, because they will be supplying the labor, some of the tools like stones, sand, and other elements that we need in order to do that. You see how it is self-reliant projects. And that's what our fathers and our foreparents who have been doing before us, so that we cannot rely on the government.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Pro. I will throw it to the CEO. The CEO, the list coming in. In your mind, what will you think you will do in the next 2 years to maybe to start the process of realizing this goal, or realizing this kind of project, this kind of talk that they are throwing left and right?
Thank you so much, Director. If they pass the camera around, you will see that we have people, we have the chiefs, we have the commoners, we have the youth. And this discussion actually started with the youth, which is something that really impressed me. You know, if you own a piece of land and all you do is keep procrastinating that I would one day develop this piece of land, you own it, you die, your child takes over and say, oh, a beautiful piece of land. I would think of what to do with it. And then the child grow of age, and then another child takes over and says, wow, we own this piece of land. We are going to one day do something with this piece of land. I think this is how the BLM has been in the past. We keep procrastinating how we're going to make the BLM great, but nobody is taking the step forward. You know, the Vision 2050 is like, at some point you say, okay, I have to do something. Even if it just means getting an architect to draw a plan and then have everybody contributing to that plan. And that is what we're doing now. You might not be the one to execute that plan, but start something that the next generation come and build on. You know, and the best way to do it and to ensure sustainability is not to get the elderly to all be part of the panel that is working on that, but to have a mixture of different people. You know, the youth, the middle age, and even the older people. That is how the board is. You have people that you look up to that they might not know, but they have wisdom just from living long that they can know, say, don't go there, because if you pass through that road, it's going to be dangerous. And then you have the youth, that those are the people that they are going to help us break through technology. You know, there's so many things that we have a lot of people that they have a lot of ideas, but they have technological challenge that if we have to succeed as a BLM, we need to go to the youth, not just because they will take over, but just because they will help us to break through the technology. So to answer your question, I know you talk so much about the contribution. We spoke at the level of the board. This is the PRO. I think my first year together with the board is just to create awareness. You know, people have been so skeptical about leadership and what we can do as Legia USA. So when you come on board, you have to create that awareness. You have to make people gain confidence in the organization. And the way to do it is to start with little things, and you do it with perfection. You know, just like the soccer match that we had, it was a good match. You know, those are little things that you do. If we had arranged that soccer match and they go to the field and 3 people show up, that alone is enough to discourage people from thinking. It kills people's spirit towards Legia USA. But we have a successful soccer match. We're having a successful barbecue. By the end of tomorrow, if we have a successful fundraiser, and then you put all that package together and say, okay, this is the new team coming. This is what they have been able to do for the first year. And that first year is just to create awareness, like I said, and then get people's trust. And I'm very sure that if we're able to do this, by the time we go into the second year, even if we have the 200 people pay their development due this year, by next year we'll have 400. And by the time you have 400, we'll get into the execution part of that project. You know, because there are short-term goals within the BLM Paradise Vision. By the end of the second year, we should be able to build confidence, get enough contribution, and tackle project. Like I said, it is not about doing something big, but it is about taking what you can do and do it with perfection. It's about perfection. So I think we are with the right trajectory. It's not easy, but it is not impossible.
Yes, see, let me throw this still to the board. Sometime a ninja, and I believe that a good manager, when you conceive a project like this, say for example, you mentioned about the road project. On that video, I've seen they talk about the financial institution, something that means the credit union. They talk about school. If you are able to create something like committees, that means you identify the BLM people and say these are the youth, the committee for the youth. You 5 people you are responsible for making sure that you bring all the youth on board. You have a background in finance and accounting. You have a background in banking. You have a background in this. You form a team, and so that we can build a blueprint on how to execute the microfinances, maybe say to help local farmers. Those that are in education, they can design a curriculum. What are the barriers that children are facing? If you are talking about road project, let's look for the engineers that are in this field so that they can say, okay, this is a better approach. Is this something that you people are thinking of? Or maybe I may be off the right, or I may be off the track? This is to the part.
Definitely. If you had listened to me, where I kind of answered that question indirectly, you have to prove that you are a winning team to get players to come to you. What we are doing now is we have to prove that Legda is charting a new path, a path that will inspire people. Right now, before we started, it's like Chief Afue, when he conceived the idea of the 2050 vision, it was just from him. And then the few people lining up behind him is just the people who trust in him. I have a lot of people coming on board who trust in me. And so too with a few people in the board.
Yes,
But together, we want to change the narrative to, instead of trusting in individuals, you trust in a vision. You trust in an organization. That way, when somebody exits, the organization doesn't fall. Or those who pledge allegiance to those who are working there, they don't fall off because somebody is not in power. So that is what we are working on. This is just about making people fall in love and gain confidence in organization.
Yeah, I think I like that idea, building strong institutions. I think somebody mentioned, was talking about accountability, and I think that also falls in that line. Chief Afua, I'm glad that you are here. You've changed. All right. Yeah, I remember on the last convention, I follow up with the convention, trying to break it down in my own little way to educate the people on what at that time it was a 5 years development plan, which will take it Agenda 28, because it was 2024 to 2028, so it was 5 years. Now, I think I've asked the CEO on some previous interview, why was it a change?
Well, CEO of Gaza Media, we thank you so much. We thank all of us here, and obviously our CEO of Legda. A lot has happened, and like the CEO rightly said, you can have a little idea in your mind, but you have to let that idea out. And letting that idea out, you will be surprised that other people had the same kind of idea. So when you let that idea out, and out of a sudden you see that, oh yes, this is how, yeah, I was thinking about that as well. And then before you know it, the whole thing extrapolates to the entire population. With that, when we talk about 5 years, like at least, like the CEO said, if you have a piece of land and just excited with that piece of land and you don't do anything about it, then pass it to the next generation, nothing happens, they're just gonna be excited about the land that they see, but nothing is changing. So when once after that whole exuberant situation and everyone was happy about it, we came now to the board said, wait a minute, all of us are living here in the United States, and believe it or not, as we're speaking right now, this country maybe has already a 100-year plan right in the system, how the bridges are going to be, how things are going to change. So the board said it was a wonderful thing about that discussion at the 2023 Legda Convention. But why do we have to limit it to 5 years? Let's now put all of our heads together and see what would happen in the next 25 years. It doesn't mean that we'll have to wait for 25 years to come for us to start it. Let's put it down, phase it out, put it all together, and say, okay, take step by step, like the CEO said, if we put a 25-year vision, what can we do now towards the achievement of that vision? And so that's exactly what happened. When people saw that, oh, this was a great idea, like, yeah, this is what we've been thinking also. You hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've been thinking about that too. And so out of a sudden, the board now say, yeah, let's take this thing, not just that 5 years, put a 25-year development plan in place. So that way, by the time 25 years comes around, we'll all completely see develop a complete, wonderful paradise on the face of the best of the world.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Chairman. Dear viewers of Gaza Media, this is Legda USA pre-convention 2024. Chief Fosano, sorry, I've not forgotten about it. Now he's blocking me. So you have a whole village, a whole village, and you also run an organization. You know a little bit of the management. And when we are talking about Legda USA are realizing this kind of goal, they need to partner with different village organizations different funding organizations in order to be able to succeed. Because if I'm coming from, say, a startup, if I have to, and then I'm the CEO, if I have to execute a project, say in a law, I will need an institution that is already setting up. In your mind, do you think Legda USA should be partnering? And if so, what are the measures that they should do in order to work smoothly with different villages and different funding organizations?
Thank you so much, CEO of Gaza Media, for this wonderful question. First of all, I would like to say a big thank you to the board of Legda USA that came up with this amazing idea of the 2050 vision for the Lebialem paradise. There's no way we can actually develop Lebialem if we don't go through the funders. We all know that we have 17 funders in Lebialem. I don't see how you come into Mwangong, Founder where I am from, without definitely passing through the fund of Mwangong, or maybe through somebody like me who is the CEO of Mwangong Cultural Entrepreneur Association here in the US. So it will be very, very important that we utilize our funders chapters and their representations, the funds back home, if we want to together succeed in this quest or in this project. It's also very important that we all visualize ourselves. We all put ourselves into this. If we used to say, if we all think generally and act particularly, we will make a global impact. So this says, I think this year or the upcoming years will be some years for us to gather all the resources, put them all together, and see how we can, as you said earlier, start somewhere, because we cannot just be talking. And one thing that I will plead and recommend to this board will be, we will make it very sustainable, because the CEO will talk about sustainability. We will write a document or a memo, put it down, that whoever takes over after this present BOT, whoever comes in as a new BOT, they have to continue with this project, because we don't want it to die at a certain point where we go back and the new executive come in and say, hey, I don't buy into this, I don't even see this feasible, and we have to stop. And now people have contributed towards it, and we start to think what to do with their money.
Yes,
So
I think that go with building strong institutions, like you mentioned, not relying on individuals, relying on the institution that is already there.
And this has to be written down. That's what I'm emphasizing on. That whosoever comes in, whatever executive that we have in Legda USA, the first thing that they have to do is to pay allegiance to this project, to this vision.
I think we can carry that motion to the General Assembly tomorrow, so that they can vote and adopt and put in the Constitution. So, yes, the ladies.
Please tune down a little bit back there.
If I may ask you, what do you think in your mind, compared to the record, the contribution, compared to the past year or to last year, what do you think is holding people back?
Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Gagamedia. You know, specifically, I can't put a finger to why, you know, let me start by saying last year, before we came to the convention, we didn't have the vision of 2050, right? So people were just paying into Legda. It was more like a free will donation or free will contribution. Some people really don't know, like some people that have, you know,
people just contribute their annual due, like
just
this.
I'm the son or daughter of Lebialem, there's my $50, right? So this time we are actually putting into a particular vision.
Yes, now my question is, I'm not cutting you short, my question is, if people need to contribute freely without knowing, then if you have a vision, a project or something at hand, that should be an added value. That should encourage people. But I think if my recollection is not wrong, maybe the contribution this year I may not be very sure. Compared to last year, it are the same, then you didn't see that much added value.
No. What I'll say is about the same, or this year is a little higher because we've had a lot of motivation going around, and so people didn't only contribute $50, but you have people contributing above that because they bought into the vision and they're trying to be part of the vision. So again, it's something that is common among the Lebialem community, where you have, it doesn't matter how much the contribution is, you have one and the same people contributing year in, year out. So, but I was very amazed that from last year, looking at the list, it started slowly, but it's building up. You know, in the past weeks or so, we've had a lot of building, and I've had some fundum, not fundum, but the chapter president like Georgia called me and said he's not going to be able to make it, but he has his money that he's going to be sending. So there are still people collecting behind the scene and still to bring in their collections.
Okay.
So,
Yes. And honestly, if you look at it, what is happening, as you said, a lot of people are buying into the vision. It's something like it's new, something new.
Yes.
So it's the building stage, and when the stage of awareness, like the PRO said. So I mean, honestly, when I looked at the list myself, I'm like, wow, what's going on here? But because of that vision, that when I say, wow, what's going on, means the list is really growing. People are now saying, yeah, I have a reason to send money to this organization. And honestly, even if we don't see the list as long as we think that it should be, it's because the awareness is really taking place, and people slowly like, yeah, this is what I've been looking for. So yes.
So you believe strongly that there are people stay on the friendship bed. Sometime when things start moving, they will begin to come in gradually. And yeah, that is always the
We
culture.
don't even have no dead limit for the
sometimes we have people
$125.
that are slow, slow observe. Some people will observe and see how it's going before they join the group. So at this point, if we put in all our momentum, and this first year we really put in, like the motivation, and people see, because some people are just contributing because they saw others contributing and they see the list, because I've been publishing the list and everybody's saying like, hey, my name is not there, but this person has contributed, so I better have my name on it. So the list is going out.
I think village association, village president, not fund of villages, because in the bank you have different villages. In a law you have different villages that have organization, right? So I'm saying that I think the leadership of Legda should reach out, because these people will pass some of these messages to do the sensitization more often, so that sometimes, I mean, it's a fact that even though maybe sad to say, people believe on others, but that is the way nature. Even when you put strong institution, but they still believe on somebody. I mean, even in this country, we're still right here. Yeah.
Let me seize this opportunity to Lebialem people. It's just unfortunate that what we expect from people, or what we need in order to build a strong organization, we don't have any way that we can set rules and enforce them. At the end of the day, people have to do it from their likeness. That is just one tool that we don't have. Legda is an organization where you can't set laws and enforce them, because at the end of the day, we depend on people's free will.
Free will, yeah, goodwill.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
So, in the board, because when you say like that, somebody who doesn't know might think that presidents of Fundum associations are not part of the board. But all the presidents of Fundum association, they are part of the board. And I have done my due diligence to invite all of them. Even when there is a power change, I immediately reach out to the new president. But if they don't attend board meetings, if they don't take the message back to their people, that is why I say when I have an opportunity like this, why we at the board, we try to hold them accountable or reach out to them. It is important that the people in those fandoms, if we have a panel like this, if your president, if there is a fandom association in America and your president has never come back to you to report anything from the board, then it is high time we start passing this message directly to the people to hold those presidents accountable. You know, that is just what I'm saying. If we have, there's a lot that is going on. For example, the Lebialem Paradise vision, the clip that we have, that is, every fandom association has their own individual WhatsApp group. They have a small conference. The least you can do is to take that in and just drop them. So if you are not doing that, then there is a problem with that. You know, because we do work behind the scene, we get somebody to design that, which is a good marketing tool. All what you need to do is just to take and pass it on to your people. So if you cannot even do that, then why are you there? And again, this is not to throw people under the bus, but when you talk, there are 17 fandoms in Lebialem, and we're sitting here. If you are listening to this plate, if you are listening to what we are discussing here, you know that you have your president, know that the president is in the board, and if that president has never come back to your fandom meeting to report on what is happening in the board, you should know that your president, and might be you, if you don't do anything, is slowing development in the BLM, because we have to hold those who give authority to accountable by asking them, hey, I heard the CEO talking on the eve of the convention at the barbecue. You are our president. You have never posted anything about Legda USA, and you are in the board. What are you doing? We should hold people accountable and let them step up to the plate.
If I can add something today, thank you very much, CEO, for that. The CEO, what he's saying in addition is that every society has strata. So Lebialem, Legda is an umbrella organization for the whole of Lebialem. Within Lebialem, we have fandoms, and there are 17 of them. So Lebialem will not, becomes a gray area for Lebialem to sideline the fandom and go into the various villages. That is what he's saying. So it's the responsibility of the fandom presidents to take that message and trickle it down to the various villages. That's point number one. Point number two, Legda collects annual dues and contribution towards Lebialem Paradise Vision 2050 year round. So don't make a mistake to think that this is convention collection. It is year round. So the CFO collects money year round. Those who have not yet contributed up to now, the contribution is ongoing, so we'll be sending out information all the time, year round, so you can have an opportunity to contribute. So okay. That's what I wanted to ask.
Thank you, guys. Maybe before we wrap up, I know His Majesty is there. Maybe he may want one or two things to say to them. But before then, I will give the microphone or the camera to maybe Vice or I know you are the advisor. I doubt how you were doing it. Follow on with your study, then we'll all of this. Is there anything that you have seen within the board that in your mind, maybe nothing, that you think that was not going well, now you think that they could correct? Or you think that, in your opinion, or you think that the things are moving in the right direction from a female point?
You mean this board?
Yeah, board.
This current board?
Yes.
What I think is not going wrong, is going wrong with it. I think this is just the first year. If we have to participate, the board members, just as the CEO was saying, that everybody, all fandom, chapter representatives are part of the board. If they could just attend our board meetings, then we'll solve some of these problems of whether people know what is going on or not. So that's one thing that we've not seen so many chapter presidents, fandom presidents or representatives. Please
Yes, turn on the light too. Press and hold. Dear viewer, come back. You are welcome back. Sorry for the small technical issues. We're discussing on the topic of how can we continue to build the BLM through unity and development, especially through the Agenda 2050, the BLM Paradise. I'm glad that Dr. Anu is just coming in, who will be our keynote speaker for tomorrow. Professor Ami, who have a lot of experience in as a professor, that have something to say. His Majesty is there, so we will not want to keep him for too long. So when you say something, then we'll turn over the camera to him to just, maybe he just want to greet the BLM people, so that at least we are happy that to have him in our midst. I know he will be speaking tomorrow, where the grand occasion will happen. Professor Ami, now let's talk about it. In your experience, you have been in a position of leadership, even Legda Life, even though we're not talking about Legda Life. Yes, which is something that I admire it because the model, it crossed across Lebialem, the leadership. When we are talking about this vision, do you think this is something that can be realistic?
Yeah. First of all, let me just thank the CEO's executive because before they took over, the USA was almost dead. You not believe it was almost dead, and they have come now and go beyond what the previous administration were doing. We were all doing something centering within Legda USA, maybe sense little bit things at home, but are going beyond that, and it is very good. They're now trying to bring not all the associations and all, but bring on the youth, which is very, very important. The youth are not only for the future, but even for the present. So that's very, very important about it. Coming to Legda itself, it is a novel thing for the vision to be. And when you give the idea that Vision 2050, you're feeling that by 2050, the BLM will become a paradise. That's the vision they are giving, which may not be true. Which may not be true. And people may be frustrated if it doesn't, and start laughing, you become a laughing stock. You can put that BLM vision 2050 or 2060 and leave it at that. Don't call it paradise. I give you reason. First of all, we here in US, the Legda US, is we can call it showing some leadership to lead all the BLM all over the world. And means you have to get connection to all the other groups. Because it's not only the BLM USA that's going to build that vision. It's the whole BLM people. And the BLM people are very, very strong individually. But coming together becomes a big problem. So, in other words, we try to get the Fundum chiefs, Fundum leaders. We cannot get all of them. Let's go through now the Fundums, the 17 Fundums, and start from them, talk them, then they get both the Fundum, the chiefs became, everybody involved in the other villagers involved. And see how you can link up. For example, just about 2 weeks ago, we had a wakekeeping for one of the BLM daughter who died in Japan. We were surprised to hear that there were about 30 BLM people there in Japan. So the point I'm making that is not only the US, get all the other countries involved, and get also in the villages, you get from the bottom upwards. Region yeah. So you said you are not getting just the funds and the chiefs and they became involved. Get also the villagers also involved. Everybody to be involved. And this it can take even about 2 or 3 years to get us everybody involved in that idea. And we start gradually. Take for example, I know a chief will say that the number that has been paying contribution, there are no contributions increase. It has not. So some people were discouraged starting from $50 to 125. I talked to one or two of people. You know, I said that amount is too much. You cannot move and double the amount 150%. Don't do that. You start gradually. You can save 50 and all donations are welcome. So if you see the contribution, and most people in the board that have actually contributed that above that amount, only 50 bonds. So cut that gradually, and first of all, make every Lebialem people to have a sense of belonging. You don't have a sense of belonging, you're not going to go anywhere. And to build that vision, it doesn't. What will be the role of the associations? What is their role? What's the role of individuals? So we have to try to find a way of trying to make it in such a way that not only the villagers are involved, everybody involved, the elites, the chiefs and all are involved. And have that contribution, that annual contribution will be something not one time, but throughout. Throughout, the contribution has to be throughout, but you have to make people to belong to that division there, the BLM. And we are not building an island. We're not building an island. We have to see a connection to all the other countries, other divisions around us. So you talk linking Chang to BLM and linking the BLM to Bakera. And the Bank people have started something which is noteworthy. I think all funders can start that. They have started a road project. I think they continue about 70,000 for the road project. And
100,000.
Okay, well, okay. So as he rightly pointed out, infrastructure is one of the most important things. It makes movement of people and goods and everything. So you have to have the funders. Find a way of actually having their project, because you are up to the BLM or Legda USA. They are always coming as a catalyst, and also have a way of actually trying to mobilize people. They are not going to do the building, they do it. If you see the building, who is going to build the schools? Who is going to build the hospitals? Who is going to build the roads?
Okay, okay, Prof. Yeah, we would like to let you go here when we have that committee set up. I think that this is a conversation that will be going on. Sorry, the student that was helping has to go. Yeah, it's getting late. Yeah, it's almost 11. Dear viewer, I think we'll be rounding up with this. We don't want to change His Majesty. I will turn the camera over to him so that he can just greet the BLM people here. He's all the way from Cameroon, and we'll be happy. We're happy that he's here with us. Let me just take the camera a little bit, close to him.
Prof, coming back to what you were saying.